Hi everyone, it's Sue Ralph here with Birdcage Craft Studio, and I'm back with you today to show you a hydrangea that I'd made on one of my posts that I put on Facebook. And I used a Sizzix die, and this is a Sizzix original die, but instead of cutting out all the individual petals, I actually just used the small flower punch from Stampin'. So what I'll do is I'll get on and show you. And this primarily is for Gina because she was asking me about how I made this. So this is for you, Gina. So I cut out the head of the hydrangea plus the stalk and the leaf, and as I said, I've used the punch. So what I'm going to do is show you how I assembled it all. I'll just move the leaf and the stalk out the way for a little bit. So I've got some pretty in pink ink. Okay, so I'm just going to use a dauber, and I'm just going to put some colour just on the base of the hydrangea and just cover it all over. And it can be different shades because flowers aren't a block colour, so you want to get lots of different sort of shading in there. And I'm not going to put this on a card or anything today. I'm not quite sure what I shall do with this one. I'm quite enjoying making altered books at the moment, so I may well do that, put this on the book, and if I do, I will come back and show you the result. So just put a little bit of colour around the edge. Okay, you don't have to be precise on this part because you're going to be gluing all the little heads over it. What I've also got here is I've got a little brush, and I've also got some mica powders, which I'm going to use just to give it a little bit of different sort of shading, and it'll give it a little bit of well, it's pearlescent because it's got the mica powders in it. So I'm just going to rub some of this over. I'll add some of the deeper purple as well, I think, maybe just to the outside a little bit, and then that just changes just the sort of colours within the base. So you can add as much or as little as you like, and it will stick really well to the base because you've actually used a wet ink. So what's happened is now that the mica powders have actually adhered themselves really nicely. Okay, so pop these out the way just for a minute. And what I've done, I've already prepared some of the petals because you need about 30. So to sit here and watch me do all of them, it would take a little bit of time. So I'm going to come back in with my ink and a dauber, and I'm going to use the other little petals that I've made. Oh, now what have I done with my dauber? It's rolled away somewhere, I think. Right, no matter. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to press the little petals into the ink pad just to get some ink on there. Okay, so you will get a little bit dirty doing it this way with your fingers. So if you don't like, obviously, getting ink on your fingers, then make sure you have your dauber to hand. But I don't know where mine's gone. It's disappeared. Right. And I'm doing both sides so we're not left with a harsh white side. And then whilst they're still a little bit damp, I'm going to come back in with the mica powders again. Okay, and I'm just going to put just a little bit on, and as you can see, it changes the colours very slightly. Let's have a couple of purplish ones. There we go. Move those out of the way, and then I'm going to put them, I've got a little foam pad here, and I'm going to use a ball tool, and this is just so that I'm going to work my way into the middle, and it will just lift those petals up slightly. So you just want to keep going on and do all of them like so. And then I'm going to bring in some little, they're Stampin' Up the basic rhinestones, and I like to use one of my blades, and I just lift up the rhinestones, and then I'm just going to pop them just into the middle of each of those flowers, and I'm not pressing down very hard to stick the rhinestone, and the reason being is that I'm going to just bring in the end of a pencil in just a minute, just to make sure that I can push those rhinestones down fully but not lose that lift that I've already got using a ball tool with the petals. So last one coming up, if I can get it off. we go. And as I said, I'm just going to come in now with a pencil, an end of a pencil, and I'm just going to press those rhinestones down, and then it will stop them flattening out too much, because if I use my finger I'd probably flatten out the entire thing. Right, I've also got a couple of other things that I'm going to use. I've got some Cosmic Shimmer spray, and this is Candy Pink. Okay, I've got some Precious Metal in Gold, and I've also got some Spray and Sparkle. This is from Crafter's Companion, just to give it an extra sheen if I want to at the end. And I've got a box that I do my spraying in so it doesn't go all over the place. Now the thing with this spray is very smelly, so make sure you do it in a well ventilated room. So now we're just going to put everything together. So I've got my flower head, and then obviously I've got my stem and my leaf, and then I've got my glue prepped and ready to go in my little jar, and I've got a tutorial on this on another one of my videos. And what we're going to do is we're going to start putting all the petals just on top of the flower head now. So I'm going to start around the edge, okay, and just start popping these down. And basically what you want to do is you want to build up as you're going along, keeping them fairly close together, and the different colours, obviously you want to sort of mingle them around. Okay, and so this is going to be a little bit time consuming, but if you bear with me you'll find that it's worth it at the end, because they do look so pretty, and also it gives you quite a nice 3D effect. So I'm building up from the outside, but you can build up from the inside if you prefer. Just going all the way around, and then you want to start coming in to the middle. Oops, make sure you don't get glue on your finger like I've done, otherwise they'll start lifting up. Okay, just keep building up. You might find it easy if you have a pair of tweezers. It's entirely up to you how you want to, you know, start putting the flowers down. If you don't want to use rhinestones in the middle, you can just pop a little bit of glitter in before you start assembling it, so let it all dry off, and that looks quite pretty as well. And keep on going. And as I said, I've got about 30 of these petals here, so I want to give it quite a nice 3D look, so I'm going to start sticking some of them slightly on top of others, just to give me that nice 3D look. Okay, just keep on going. Now this is Tombow glue, which is really good. It's quite a fast drying glue. So once I've put the first ones on, they're virtually dry. Just pop that one there. If you've got some Pinflair 3D glue, that's quite good as well, especially if you're sort of stacking them upon each other, then that works out quite well. Okay. Just like that. So I'm going to leave it there just for the moment, just this last one on, because I can always go back and put some more on in a little bit if I want to. Okay, so let's move that out the way. And then what I need to do now is very carefully to put my stem just underneath. So I'm going to have just a little bit of glue here, just to pop this on top, like so. Okay, I'll just get the knife in there just to push it down. I don't want to move those flowers too much, just stick that down. And then with your leaf, you can just twist it over with your fingers just to give it a little bit of movement, because obviously it's not just flat. And then again, just put a little bit of Tombow on the back, just to glue it down, and then stick it in place. And now what I'm going to do, whoops, I'm going to bring in my box, very carefully lay my flower in the middle. Let's go back and maybe just put a little bit more glue on there. Now once this is thoroughly dry, what you can do is you can go in with your precious metal and just put a little bit of gold across the tops of the petals, or you can spray it a little bit if you want something slightly different. Okay, so I'm just going to test it, and then I'm just going to spray the head just a little bit, and then I'm going to put some gold on it, and I'm just going to go over the stem and the leaf and the head. Oops. Push that back in place. Oof. Right, there we are. And then we have our finished article, and I won't get it out of the box just yet because otherwise I might knock off the leaf again. But I hope you found that tip helpful, and I hope, Gina, that you're able to make one for yourself. Well, I'll be back soon to see you. Bye.